Alright guys, this is versus Z, regardless if my name says versus Eclipse or not, but this is versus Z, and I have not updated this channel in a long time, and I figure I might as well take this chance to do so by showing you guys somewhat of a work in progress video, since that's basically what I use this channel for, which is work in progress things, and I haven't done that in a while. So here we go, just the master grade Freedom. You guys saw the upper body and the arms already the other day. Nothing's changed. I basically just put it together, getting it ready for, for review. Here's the hip area. It looks a little funky back there, slightly funky to me. I did that just not too long ago, so I'm kind of letting it dry. But I don't know. I was gonna leave it alone, but then every time I looked at it, it's like it's kind of an eyesore seeing it not panel-lined or not detailed at all like this. So if you have this model kit, or if you plan on getting it and you look at it, you're like, oh man, it's just screaming to be panel-lined. So it just would not shut up until I finally panel-lined it. So that's how it looks. I'm thinking I should add some gold or silver on the circles at least to kind of bring out the color, and maybe close those white dots there with some gray. But yeah, when I get the chance. But anyway, that's the upper torso. And then today I was able to work on both legs, well, just the leg section, not the ankles and feet yet. So here's one of them. So, yeah, here's one of the legs. It's a very clean looking leg. Now, just a little tiny little gripe. You can kind of see some scars there, and I guess the right word to say is the nub, not the nub, but the gate placement is a little off. It's kind of on a bad spot, and then wherever the gates were, there was some flash. Flash was like extra residue plastic coming from the molding during the molding process, and this kid's got a lot of it. So I'm just kind of being aware that a lot of master grades, especially older kits, have a lot of flash to deal with, and dealing with this model kit, it's kind of helping me advance in my model kit building, because, well, I mean, not here, I got a little lazy with this model, but I'm just aware that it is there. And anyway, this is just the left leg, so I got some gold and silver there, some more gold back here. I'll explain why I used gold in a second, but just kind of showing off the leg. It does have some gimmicks, like this flap will move up very far, and then the thruster in there, which you can see I did silver, just like I did with the thrusters on the backpack. Well, not the backpack, but just the back itself of the Freedom, I did in silver. So I felt that I should continue it on here on these lower thrusters here, so I did it silver too. And also on the insides it's gold, and on the insides of those it's black. So yeah. So anyway, it does have a moving armor gimmick, just the knees, not the thighs, unfortunately. So just move the upper thigh so you can see what kind of did there. Well, you can't, we can sort of see it, but I also did silver in there to kind of, just like with the arms, give it the illusion that there's something going on in there. And the leg, or not the leg, but rather the knee, there's the armor movement. There's a piston detail right there, so I did that in gold and silver as well, just like on the chest. So I made sure every single detail was consistent. So if it was a piston, I made sure it was gold and silver. If it was something that could pass or could look like a hydraulic or a piston, I made it silver. Some areas I did in gold, and I'll explain why, like I said. But right here, it can kind of pass for a piston, so I did gold and silver. But up there, I just did silver. So I hope you guys can kind of get my flow of things. The knee here, this piece here, is actually supposed to be gray in there, but I kind of like the way it looks here, where it's just entirely blue, and then this is gray, then the rest is white. It's kind of like a, three-tone blade thing going on there. But anyway, this is the completed armored leg. Let me show you the uncompleted version. So here is a painted, detailed inner frame leg, a leg inner frame. So in the back there I did silver because to me it kind of would pass for some kind of hydraulic, some kind of piston, and did the same thing on the front. I know all these things are going to get covered up anyway, And why do I even do this? Actually, I was thinking about it, and I should actually post up another video poll in regards to who actually does this, like who actually does paint their inner frames. And I'll explain my reasons for doing that in that video, but yeah, just so you guys can get an idea of what I did here. So yeah, I really like this part here where it's like a tubing and a little screw there. But anyway, why I use gold? Simple. This is the Freedom, and the reason why I use gold is because I thought if I had used a little bit of gold on some of the joints, especially some that show, then I think it would be, and I think this is the only area where I'd use gold and you would see it. I think most of the areas are silver, but I think that if I did it this way, I saw it as this. It would be the nod at what's to come, and you guys know what's to come. The Strike Freedom, the Gundam with the all joints that are gold. So I thought this would be like a creative way to kind of a nod at those who know what's to come. You know, it's the Freedom, and what's up with the gold joints? Well, you're gonna get the Strike Freedom next, who has all gold joints instead of just golden parts on a joint. So I figured that was a little kind of a, I guess, story or backstory thing why I chose to use gold on some joints. So you can see I did it the same way. So I made sure everything was consistent, everything was there's a continuity and everything. So yeah, that is the leg. So I might as well just kind of take the time to show you the so there's a silver. So it kinda would pass for a piston if this thing was real, you know. So just wanted to make sure, like I said, everything was consistent and sort of accurate to some degree. I think I'm holding it down. There you go. No wonder. Anyway, that's the knee bend without all the armor. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on this way. And I'm not gonna hog. I'm not gonna be selfish. I'm gonna explain how all this happened. It's basically what I like to call careful manipulation of a Gundam marker. So I didn't exactly use a fine tip paintbrush or anything. I basically just used a Gundam marker, but very, very carefully. How is that possible? Some of you might ask, how's that possible? Patience, just patience. And I think I have a little too much of it, especially when I'm working on a kit as good as this, and this feels especially good building this kit after building so many straight builds. The Reborn's Gundam was somewhat of a straight build, but I did add a little bit of painting details in there. You got the Clear, Destiny, and Infinite Justice, which were just a completely straight up build with some stickers. And it's a completely different build experience, and this is something that makes up for that, all that, I guess, time lost. So next up, I'm just going to continue on working with the feet, and I think that should be it. Now, I'm also going to approach the head in a different way. The head is consisted of a few parts, some clear parts, of course, for the eyes. So what I want to do and approach that, I'm not going to use the sticker. I'm going to paint black for the outside of the eyes, and then I'm gonna take my silver plate Gundam marker, paint over the eyes, and then just like with what I did with the Super Deform lids, I'll paint with a clear colors. In this case, I'm gonna use clear yellow. I actually forgot I had clear yellow, so I found that and I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it this way. It might be small, but it'll actually make me feel a little bit more accomplished for even doing something like that. The smallest details, you know. And I think that's what falls under why some of us take the time to, you know, paint an inner frame, even though more than half the time or even all the time you won't even see it, unless of course you had a clear campaign version of a model kit, and that's when it would really matter. But it basically just makes you feel a little bit more accomplished about what you're doing. So that's my progress. I'm not sure if I will upload another progress anytime this week because I'm doing Rider Fest, but you know, we'll see. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed.